Bournemouth caught cold at the back, and that is absolutely perfect.
Oh, Valdez finishing above the rim.
That's a good ball, and that's a great goal. Bournemouth strike back, and Callum Wilson is off the mark.
Aggressive. Take it to the rack. Go to the big man.
Oh!
What we said, both we've got point guards who can make things happen.
And almost scoring. Work from Yarmolenko. And Yarmolenko again, it's in! Well, he hit the post a minute or so ago. This time he's hit the back of the net.
Joined Barcelona at 16 years of age.
2018. Masuaku queuing up in there. Fabulous save from Krul.
I became arguably
Felipe Anderson.
one of the greatest players of his generation. The debate about the goal is still on.
Here for Snodgrass.
16,000 per hour,
Again.
385,581 euro per day. 11,567 11,567.450 per euro in a month, and of course 138 million euro in a year, totaling 555 million euro in 4 years. The contract dictates of Lionel Messi and Barcelona was leaked out this morning by El Mundo, the second biggest publication in Spain. It has caused so much controversy and uproar all over the sporting world. The biggest football contract ever in the history of the game. And of course, social media went agog. And it seems unbelievable. And of course, in case you don't believe it, I better believe by now. Lionel Messi contradicting. It's a major talking point this afternoon on Sports Tuzzle, already on Pensioners 106.7 FM at Barry Gonireke in the city of Ibadan. Of course, like they used to say, work without play, makes Jack it up, boy. But I say everything without sport makes me the dullest guy ever living. The sports illuminator behind the MIC, Raymond Tolulokwe. I say you're on there for the very last Sunday, the very last day in the month of January. I hope you guys are enjoying the year. It's gonna be okay, definitely. I've got the guys in the building as well. I've got a guy and of course a lady. We're gonna do this together on Sport Tussle this afternoon. I'm breaking down Lionel Messi's contract, looking at the implications. Barcelona apparently in depth. Does Messi actually deserve this contract? And of course, if you're Lionel Messi, are you going to take this contract if you have been offered? What are the implications? Lionel Messi's contract. For the second part, we look at Atletico Madrid rise to the top of the La Liga. Apparently, they are leading leading La Liga. Diego Simeone's men, but there was a major addition during the summer.
Looks like he was shot out of a cannon down the.
And that is Luis Suarez from Barcelona, who was let go for free. And the man is doing wonders at Atletico Madrid, pushing them to the title. We'll look into that, the impact of Luis Suarez at Atletico Madrid. After the tactical analysis of a certain Diego Simeone. Are they going to win their first league title in 2014? We'll look into that this afternoon. Don't forget, we'll give you updates of matches going down all around the top 5 leagues in Europe. Chelsea, just a few minutes ago, 1-2-0 against Burnley. That got the 2 wing backs getting the goals. Cesar Spilicueta and of course Fernando Alonso getting the goal for them. Right about now, we've got point down. We've seen Leicester City against Leeds United. And the King's Power Stadium. But first, let me welcome our guys in the building who we're going to do this together this afternoon. Okay, they say ladies first. I got Oluwaju Bello in the building. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to our listeners. Happy Sunday, like I said. Yeah, let's talk sports.
Okay, let's talk sports. And of course, I've got Kola Levotosha, a friend in of the house.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's always nice to be here. My pleasure. Definitely.
Okay, short and sharp. We'll go straight into business. But if you want to watch us live, and tell someone to tell someone that you can listen to us live on www.pensionersfm1067.com. pensionersfm1067.com. You can go straight to Facebook. Pensioners FM on Facebook. Pensioners FM on Facebook. So you can go to Google Play Store and download the app Pensioners FM. It will be live. We'll go straight to business this afternoon. And of course, I'm bringing the guys on at the moment. I just woke up this morning. And the usual me definitely will not press the phone. But something just say, come on, pick your phone. And the first thing that popped up on my phone was that exclusive document of Lionel Messi's contract. 555.237.69 million euro. 555 million euro. Signed in 2017. And as we speak, at the end of, by June 2021, we'll be saying Lionel Messi end this outrageous. A friend of mine, okay, let me leave that comment for now. Outrageous amount of money, the biggest deal in football world. The big question is, does Lionel Messi deserves this amount of money?
Oh, should I actually?
Everybody can go. Anybody can pick it. It's a big.
Okay.
It's a big question.
I think I'm as for Lionel Messi. There's this thing that I used to say that you are worth whatever your club said you're worth. So for Barcelona to give him the contract, he does deserve it.
For Barcelona to have offered him this kind of contract,
Yeah.
that means he deserves it.
Yeah, in their own terms, whatever their terms is. So he deserves it.
Well, I think I want to toe a line. It's all about perspective, and if they can afford to pay him, and they decided to offer him that, if you're looking at the footballing qualities, you cannot take it away from him. I mean, Barcelona in this period of 13 years, we know what they have won. They've won they won 4 Champions League titles. Messi was integral to all of the Champions League titles. They've won the La Liga. They've won 6 trophies. They've won 4.
Yeah.
4 trophies in a year. They won 6 in a year. So and he was integral to all of this. And during this period, he won 5 Ballon d'Or. He won the World Footballer of the Year. He won personal awards. He won so many things. They won the World Club Championship, I think 3 or 4 times. So that tells you that if you are talking about success on the pitch, it was central to it. Because, of course, let's not forget that the moment he broke into the scene, the second season after breaking into the scene, they had to let go of Ronaldinho. Yeah. So he became literally, the biggest, maybe not biggest player, but, you can actually call him the second biggest player behind Samuel Eto'o. And, of course, let's not forget that immediately they won 6 trophies. The following season, Guardiola actually told Eto'o to leave. Yeah. So the moment Eto'o left, he became the central figure. He was larger than life. Beyond the pitch, he was the best player on the pitch, and even beyond the pitch, it was a topic of discussion. If they wanted to pick up any manager, they had, the manager had to, definitely seek, his support and his consent. He became, because he could take the game by the scruff of the neck. We know what Messi could do.
Yes, definitely. Like you said, he could take the game and decide the games. The quality of Lionel Messi and everything that surrounds him can never be underappreciated. Definitely. Yeah. Top dog. You can talk about the GOAT debate. It's always going to be there. 6 Ballon d'Or is not a joke. Was integral to Barcelona's success. I mean, they've won. Before he came on board, Barcelona knew the amount of stuff they've won. When they came on board, I mean, there was an offshoot. But then this contract again, 555 million, 236,619 euro in 4 years. That is 138 million per season, plus fixed plus variables. Now, the other part is there is a certain 115 million, 225,000 million euro as a renewal fee for just accepting the contract. In 2010, let me bring out a quote. Now, looking at this amount of money, like JB said, you are what your club tells you are what. Agreed, definitely. But looking at it, don't you think this is too weird, too outrageous? I mean, you believing that yes, Messi is everything to Barcelona, but should we go in the face? Because looking at this contract as well, it is one of those things, as purported in the media, that's also put Barcelona in a kind of debt. Looking at that money, 550.
No, I totally disagree. That is not what has sent Barcelona into debt. No, that is not. If you look at their transfer signings, you discover where their real problem is coming.
Yeah.
Yes, transfer signings, you can't take that away.
Now let me say something. It looks like the wages is actually huge. But let me tell you something. If he had decided to leave, he would have had more somewhere else. That's the truth.
I don't think he can handle
if
it. In 2017,
if he had gone to Manchester City,
yes,
with the kind of money the Sheikhs had, they would have paid.
I don't think they will pay. I don't think
they will pay. You know why? It's not just about his ability on the pitch. Do you know the shirts Messi will sell? You know the shirts Messi will make you sell. We know what Ibrahimovic did at Manchester United. We know the shirt sales. We know what Ronaldo did at Juventus. We know the shirt sales. Do you know what Messi would do? Messi's presence alone, leaving La Liga for the Premier League, will automatically switch viewership from the La Liga. It will take like extra 40% from the current viewership of La Liga to the Premier League. That is what, if it goes anywhere, whether it goes to La Liga, to the French league, that is what will happen, because he has that personality alone is not a joke.
Yes, I agree with you. Personality is not a joke, but JB is a player bigger than a club.
A player is never bigger than a club.
Mm.
The player can never be bigger.
So if a player is not bigger than a club, then how do Barcelona manage to pay Lionel Messi more than 500 million euro, 138 million euro in a year?
They manage to pay him because it's in his contract.
It's in his contract.
Yes, and they offered him. And it's not as if he's the one that has to. Don't forget that Barcelona will always renew Messi's contracts every year.
Yes.
In fact, what am I saying? Every 6 months. 6 months. They have to tell him, do you want to renew your contract every 6 months? So he is not the one asking for it. They are the one telling him to come and renew his contract.
Now, who said this? Who said the player cannot be bigger than the club? Who said so?
Is a player bigger than a club?
Who said the player cannot be bigger than the club?
Is a player bigger than a club?
It is possible a player can be bigger than the club. You know why? Because if you are central, if your club is scoring 120 goals,
yes,
and you are providing, be it scoring or assisting 90, are you telling me you're not bigger than the club? Then don't play now and let's see what will happen. Your ability on the pitch. Do you know that?
But a player will not be at the club forever.
Do you know that there's yes, but when he's there, his impact. And let's not forget loyalty. Loyalty is key. Do you know that even the wages you're talking about that look so huge, there are clubs that would have paid it?
I don't think, I still repeat, I don't think a club will pay Lionel Messi.
Do you know that
138 million euro per year?
Do you know that there are clubs that will tell Messi that name your price? It's not just name your price. You are not interested. We don't want to argue. Just name whatever you want to. There are clubs because they know what he's bringing to the table. You see, that is not the issue. They know what he's bringing to the table, and he has shown there is a reason why there is something called loyalty bonus, because you can afford to walk away, right? You can afford to say, I'm leaving. Barcelona, of course, they knew that he was entering the last season of his contract, and they knew they stood the risk of actually allowing him go for free. But they still said they were ready to take that risk. They said, okay, if you are not going to renew your deal, anybody that's going to take you must pay that release clause. The other clubs, if it was a poor club's mentality, they will say, hey, let's just cash in, give us 200 million, let this guy go. They said no, because they know even playing for that 1 year, they will likely make that amount that they would have sold him for. In whatever, be it in sales, be it in merchandise, be it in endorsement, they will make it. Do you know, if Messi leaves Barcelona today, take it or leave it, they will lose some of their.
No, when you have a big player as big as Lionel Messi, it's normal when he leaves, you are going to lose some of your fans. But that doesn't mean we should turn him to a god.
It's not about it is appreciation. I don't know. See,
is this just appreciation, or how do I put it now?
How much is Neymar earning at PSG?
Do I even have the numbers? I don't think so.
Neymar is earning well over £600,000 per week. Now, if he earns that for 6 years, you know how much Is Neymar not getting all these bonuses? He is now. Okay, question is, how much was Sanchez earning at Manchester United when he moved to Arsenal? When he moved from Arsenal? Was it not 500,000? How much is Paul earning? So why are we talking about? And these players don't have they don't have 10% of the productivity of Lionel Messi. They don't even have 5%. Okay, his numbers have actually dropped. There was a time he was averaging 60 goals per season. Do you know what? You cannot replicate that. How many players?
Even at this,
How many players do you need?
Neymar earns 32 million pounds in a year. It's still a far cry to a certain Lionel Messi's 138 million.
Does Neymar have 10% of Messi's productivity?
Talking about Lionel Messi's productivity,
yes.
Well, he has been inconsistent. No potential.
So do you? If they can give Neymar that, Raymond,
yeah.
If they can give Neymar that, just imagine it was Messi they signed. How do you think they'll pay him?
But I don't think they will have paid him 100 million euros.
They'll pay more than that.
I don't think so.
They will pay more.
I don't think so.
They will, because they know what he's bringing to the table. Neymar,
yes, you have the personality, you have the ability.
Neymar is a big player.
Yeah.
Neymar is a very big player. But compared with Messi, Neymar is still a midget. That's not disrespect to you. It's fact. It is a simple, basic fact.
JB.
Yeah.
Clary said a player can be bigger
than
a club. Do you think any other team in this world, or let me say in the top 5 leagues, will have offered Lionel Messi this?
I think there might be some clubs out there that might be able to offer Lionel Messi this type of contract, or even more than these figures.
Really?
It is very possible. Yeah, it is very possible. I mean, we have clause, we have let me put it like I used to put it, Arab bunnies everywhere, and these people will break the bank to bring someone like Lionel Messi. Don't forget, football is business. Football is business.
If Messi goes to China, how much will he earn?
Yeah, he will earn. If Iniesta I don't want to disrespect him. Do you know how much he's earning right now? So if Messi leaves Barcelona today, as of this afternoon, he is going to, if he wants to earn more than this, he will earn it. I mean, the money is poison right now.
The figure you are quoting,
yeah.
By the time Messi leaves Barcelona for free and signs for another club, either Manchester City or PSG, the money you are mentioning that looks so bogus, so huge, will become a mincemeat. Because at that point, don't forget they're not paying transfer fee. Yes. So he would negotiate his wages. And at that point, they will tell him, just name your price. Because even at 32, they know what he's bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Can Messi give back 500 million?
In productivity.
In productivity right now?
Has he not given it? No, has he not given it?
How much does Barcelona make over Messi in a year?
They make money.
They make money.
From shirt sales alone. Yeah. See, the reason why Barcelona are struggling is not down to Messi. It's down to management. Now, look at the list of transfers they made. Immediately they sold Neymar. A smart club would not spend the money. They would. That is why I love Wenger a lot. And I key to his philosophy. You know why? He will tell you that the moment you sell a player, the option, the way to replace a player is not to buy a replacement. Try and look inward. Is there a player on the bench that can step up? Or is there a player in the academy that you can groom? Because if you do that, if you give another player an opportunity to step up, you are likely going to conserve the money. Because at that moment, if you start a player for 30 million and you want to buy a replacement, most likely, if you don't spend the whole 30 million, you spend like 25 million or even spend overboard. That's the truth. Because other clubs are waiting for you. They know you sold somebody. Hey, come spend the money. Do you understand? So they want to collect that money. So the moment Barcelona sold Neymar, the fans were hungry. They had to appease the fans. They needed another so-called big name. They couldn't just buy another player, just not for the sake of playing in that role. They needed to buy a player to appease and assuage the fans. Do you understand? Now they went for Dembele. They bought him for 112 million, right?
Yeah.
Then they bought Coutinho. They bought him for 132 million. They blew the entire money. Dembele, fantastic player, talented for an injury and hospital patient. Then there is a Coutinho that never settled. They kept loaning him and the best the best. I don't even think they got 30 million on loan fee from Bayern Munich. I don't think they did. And they were still paying part of his wages, because if you are not ready to pay part of your wages, the club can say, hey, keep your problem. I'm not interested. So now they ended up blowing Neymar's money, and still there was no impact on the pitch. Now imagine if they had kept the money, if they had promoted maybe Anson Fatu or something, or giving somebody else the opportunity. You understand? Even a Macon, fine, a Macon is not a Macon compared with Neymar, they are not on the same pedestal, definitely. No. But if giving Macon the opportunity to perform, who said he cannot step up? Are you looking for a name that will sell shirts, or you are looking for a name that will deliver on the pitch of play?
So much questions there. JB,
Yeah.
Lionel Messi's contract leaked. What are the implications? I mean, I'm in a team and just respecting who Lionel Messi is. And I got to see this contract that somebody is being paid this money in the same team as yes, I don't have 6 Ballon d'Ors. What is the implication of this? I'll still repeat, outrageous amount of money.
Actually, for me, I don't think there should be any implication as of today, because if we want to, it is only if we want to deceive ourselves. There is nobody at Barcelona that will question Messi's authority right now. Nobody. So there should be no rancor. Because number one, if he is not the most senior player in that team. Number two, whatever out of 100% stuff the whole team is rigging. Messi alone, whether he's turning in the numbers, whether he's dropping form, whether he's not playing, Messi cannot be on the pitch, and you want to underestimate him. So he brings in everything. So he is playing for the money. So whatever Messi is churning out, he's churning out his performances, and he is getting paid for it. That is football. It is business. He is meant to play, and he is meant to earn. He is earning. Every other person is earning. We cannot earn the same in a team. That is it.
We cannot earn the same thing.
The same Real Madrid where Casillas was earning little over 50,000 pounds per week was the same thing where they were bringing in Galacticos and they were earning hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
And at that point, the most important player there was Casillas. But you know why? Because it was an academy product. He loved Real Madrid so much, he was not pushing for. But the moment his eyes opened, he said, "Hell no, I was going to go." And the moment he said he was going to go, they beefed up his wages from the less than 100,000 pounds he was earning to hundreds of thousands. That meant the club even knew it was worth that much, but they were waiting for him to talk.
It's Jamie Vardy!
Sports Thursday, Professionals 106.7 FM.
Caught cold at the back.
We're still discussing Lionel Messi's and Barcelona's contract. The leakage this morning all over the internet, broke the internet earlier this morning.
That's a good ball. And that's a great goal.
And of course, as we speak, Lionel Messi and Barcelona are set to take El Mundo to court for leaking that contract details.
Both top point guards who can make things happen. And almost scoring. Work from Yarmolenko. And Yarmolenko again, it's in! Well, he hit the post a minute or so ago. This time he's hit the...
I repeat, Lionel Messi is ready to take action against the newspaper El Mundo. He's ready to take them to court for that contract leak. And of course, Barcelona as well are also threatening action against the newspaper.
That's for Felipe Anderson. Smart stop. Haller onto it. Ball to the rescue again.
El Mundo is the second largest printed daily newspaper in Spain.
Right place again.
And of course, I broke the news this morning. How they got that, we definitely don't know. But that is the situation as we speak. The figures again: 555,237,619 over 4 years. And that is 138 million euro per season. And of course, there's a renewal fee of 115 million euro at 225,000 for just accepting the contract. Now, before we go to the second of this, I want to talk about that renewal fee. In 2010, I want to pull out a quote. In 2010, not motivate me when I'm playing football. I don't seek for personal benefit. I only want to play for the team and, of course, enjoy myself. 2021 is earning more than 500 million euro, but there's a renewal fee for just accepting that contract, which is 115 million. For just accepting the contract signed in
Is it
2017.
strange? I'm surprised.
It's strange.
It's not.
It's ever strange.
No,
I repeat, it's
no,
strange.
it is
I
not.
repeat, it's the biggest deal in
No,
football.
Forget the deal. Forget the amount.
A part of wages, as far as wages is concerned.
Forget the amount.
Okay.
Forget the amount. Loyalty bonus for accepting a contract, especially when it's your last biggest contract, is always there. When Henry was going,
115 million.
Forget. I just said forget the amount. Forget the amount. You said the bigger the head, the more severe the headache. That's the point. Now, when Henry was going to sign that contract, the last contract he signed after the Champions League, he got a bonus. I think maybe 20 million. I think he got a bonus. It is because it's your last contract, especially when it's a year left. You can afford to leave. That is why when you sign for another club, despite the Sanchez not get a sign-on fee for signing for Man U.
Definitely,
he got a sign-on fee in addition to his wages. That's why the fact that Manchester United paid the transfer fee to Arsenal in the mode of Mkhitaryan. He still got a sign-on fee. So now I said something that the bigger the head, the more severe the headache. In Arsenal are not as rich as Barcelona, or let me say well, based on how they put things, based on face value, they are not as rich as Barcelona. The Emirates is not as big as Nou Camp. Do you understand? So Arsenal cannot offer, and of course, Henry, even at his best, was never at par with Lionel Messi. So the negotiation was not going to be the same. If Messi is going to renew his Barcelona deal now, obviously he cannot get that kind of offer. That's true. Age is no longer on the side. All those things. You understand? If the numbers are dropping, he's not going to get that kind of offer. But he will still get a reasonable offer. Maybe from that instead of that 100 and something, he might be getting 40 or 50 million. They will still make it. He will still produce on the pitch of play. The Barcelona that we're seeing now, the Messi that we are seeing now, that it looks like he has dropped so much, is because he's not happy at the club. He's not necessarily at Barcelona now, but he's not happy with the kind of players he's playing with. Get him a manager he likes and see him change.
Get him a manager he likes and see him change. I'm going to open the phone lines a bit. Now to listen to the listeners. Barcelona, Lionel Messi, does he really deserve this outrageous amount? 09081 11 1067 or 0808010 1067 09081 11 1067 or 0808010 1067. And of course via WhatsApp 0902672 1042 0902672 1042. The guys in the building have said Lionel Messi deserves everything he has earned as far as his contract details at Barcelona. Let me take the first call. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is John. Calling from
John from Modono.
Pardon?
John.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, you're talking about the cost of Lionel Messi's contract.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why we, as football fans, were always appalled by big money contracts. That's their own profession, and it is what you have. You are able to negotiate. As your lady in the studio said, you are being paid what you can negotiate, and you don't expect everybody in the club to earn the same thing. He deserves even more than that, being who he is and the status in football. I do not know why it's leaked now, but I'm sure you have everybody's details about the contract signed and whatever. There are clauses there and there that you don't know about. That 55,000, whatever they came up with, may not be what is entitled to at the end of maybe 4 years. But there are the clauses in here and there that you don't even know about. It may also be. He deserves it. He deserves more than that if they can pay and if they not. So I have a problem with the club not being healthy, and then doing big deals. Barcelona is thinking, and we know that. Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you so much, John.
To the rescue again.
John is saying Lionel Messi deserves every amount,
Again.
every penny he's earning at the moment.
Back to the Celtics.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, about that.
Yeah, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah. This is Ola. Good evening.
Okay, Ola.
Yeah, good evening to everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
So, I'll crave your indulgence. You are the anchor of the show, but I want to restructure your question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I think the question to ask is not if you deserve it, because if you debate that from today to the next 5 years, then Messi will deserve that contract. So if we keep debating that from today to the next 15 years, I think they're not going to make an headway. But the main question should be, how did he come by those contracts? How were those contracts signed? I think that should be the main question. Now, 2017, there's absolutely no problem between Lionel Messi and Barcelona. At least none of which you know. So there was nothing like he was going to leave at the end of his contract. I think he should strike that out. There was nothing like he was going to leave. He was the emblem of loyalty. He was like the pinnacle of loyalty. He was like the person that we used to, if you want to describe loyalty, just remember. So there was no inkling that he was going to leave. Now, there's precedence. Lionel Messi did not today begin to hand those outrages. Now, like I said, there's no question of deserving or not deserving, because if we are debating that would be a waste of time. So, did he hamstrung the club into getting those contracts every 6 months? Was he out of the generosity of the club? Because the failing health of the club didn't start today. Lionel Messi cannot feign ignorance that he did not know the club was failing. Because if you listen to his interview that I said that I did with Goal.com,
Yeah,
he said it. So he knows that the club is failing, but he doesn't care. He must get his box because he's playing ball. He's performing on the pitch. He must get that. And saying the contract is not part of the reason why the club is failing, I think that would just be brushing the issue on the face.
Mm.
He's earning about 60% of the salary cut of the team. If that is not a problem in itself, I don't know what the problem is. So, see, that's why I said the question is not a question if he deserves it. The question is the question of how he got it. Did he hamstring the team? Did the team have a choice? Look at it now. The contract is running out. The team is in bad health. They are owing more than $1 billion or £1 billion.
Yeah.
And they still want to renew that contract. Why? I've been reading publications of Messi makes 300 million per year. Oh, that's Bauda. What does it? Players of Messi's ilk, they give the club a percentage of their image rights. So unless Messi's image rights is about 3 billion per year or 3 trillion per year, he cannot give the club about 3 million per. So I think there was no border. So see, the question is, how did he come by those contracts? That's the main question. Is he aware that the club is in bad health? If he's the legend of the club, does he care? Yes, I did a good job.
Thank you so much, Ola. Beautiful one. A beautiful one from Ola Austin. Let me take this one from D1. Messi deserves everything in his hand. Many pulls more than 300 million deals to Barcelona as a brand. That is not confirmed. Anyway, it's He's a big personality, and those payments are for what he does and on and off the pitch.
Over the top for Jamie Vardy. This is where he wants it. It's Jamie Vardy!
As Steve Bond says, the guy deserves the money, but Baka shouldn't complain of lack of money. No one wants to hear. At 09081 11 1067 or 0808010 1067. Or you can message me on WhatsApp 09026721042. 09026721042.
Let's take it to the right. Go to the big man.
Oh, okay, you had the angle. Ola was speaking from. I'm saying, how did they? Every contract is definitely going to be a negotiation.
Yeah.
How did they come? How did they, Barcelona and Messi, come about that contract?
Okay, can I just say this?
Okay.
The reason why clubs to negotiate contracts is because number one, of their productivity.
Yeah.
They are scared of losing you, and of course, let's not forget there are agents that pick up information. There must have been rules, information here and there that some people are hiring this guy. They're trying to lure him with a bigger offer. So you want to play safe. That even if he's going to leave, let's not forget that with each contract renewal, his release clause goes up.
Especially in Spain.
So
there's a release clause in Spain.
So what they try to do is, okay, initially it's 200 million. You're signing a new deal, your resource goes to 400 million. So even if there is one money misroad club somewhere that wants to get you at all costs, they have to pay. That was why Barcelona was saying that if we are not saying you do not go, but whoever is coming must pay the release clause.
As at 2017, that was just, I think, the year Neymar left. Of course, Messi has been with the team. But bringing this contract on, this whole contract saga on, and looking at it, the big one, like, Ola said, was you 10 naira for this. You might tell your agent, tell them this is how much I want to hear.
If you have gotten to that level, we even beyond sports, we know people in other professions that they tell you what
they demand.
They just tell you. It's either you pay it because you know what they are bringing to the table. Their productivity, what you are getting from them is not in doubt. So they tell you, they don't negotiate. They just tell you this is what I'm earning. You either pay it or I walk away because they know that they cannot be short of suitors.
On the other hand, JB,
was
this greed on the part of Lionel Messi?
Well, if I want to say it, I would say that initially it is not greed, but as time goes on, it is obvious it is greed. Right now, presently, everything about Lionel Messi at Barcelona is greed. That's it.
Great.
Can I ask why?
Okay.
I personally don't think so. I personally do not think so.
Okay.
But this has affected Barcelona.
Is this his fault? I just told you. Look at their transfer signings. Is it Messi that has been signing for them? They have not been smart. Forget Messi. Okay, Messi is anybody. In other clubs, okay, go to us now. How much is Aubameyang earning? How much are other players earning? You will see that disparity. That will always be that star player. Go to Juventus. How much is Ronaldo earning? How much are the likes of Dybala, the likes of Aaron Ramsey? How much are they earning?
Is Ronaldo, Dybala, Ramsey, are they owing the club at ransom?
What do you mean by owing the club at ransom? He said, I want to go. They said you are not going.
In 2017, I don't think that was the situation.
Yeah, that was what I said at the beginning. It was not greed.
If it is
but
now,
right now, I will call
in
it
2017, there was no rancor between Barcelona
Did
and Messi.
Messi say, I must leave at all costs?
He didn't. In 2017, there was no transfer.
He said he wants to leave.
In 2020.
And that was because Barcelona failed him. They made promises to him.
No, in 2020.
Which
This he want to leave is in 2020.
Yes.
In 2017, there was still a friendship. There was still a cordial relationship.
The reason why he said he wanted to leave was down to some broken promises, from failed promises. He don't just sleep and wake up and say, okay, I'm gonna go, I want to go. No, it was because he said it that Bartomeu failed him.
How did Bartomeu fail him? What promises? The promises, the only visible promises that is in the social media that we know is because Messi wants Neymar back.
Now,
can he not play with other players aside Neymar?
See, no. I totally. If you get to a level in a club, at times clubs will ask you which kind of player do you want to play with. If you have got it to that level, that's the truth. When Aubameyang wanted to sign,
you know, I ask this question: if a player is bigger than a club,
It's not about
So it is
player.
Messi.
No,
It
let-
is
let
Messi
me-
that will
let me-
tell them the
let
kind
me-
of manager he wants to play with. It
Some-
is Messi that will tell
Let me-
them the
can
kind
I-
of.
Can I tell you something?
Okay.
Can I tell you something? Do you know why Henry left us now?
Why? Because he wants the Champions League.
No,
Because he wants to go and
No.
play with Messi.
because he asked Wenger. If you could remember,
What is the future?
if you could remember,
yeah. Go
at
ahead.
that point in time, Wenger had not signed an extension to his deal.
Yeah.
That was after David D just left. So Wenger was mulling on his future. Will I stay? Will I not stay? And Henry was going to sign a bigger. He had already signed that contract. He now asked Wenger, "Are you going to sign a new deal?" Wenger said he wasn't sure. Henry said, "Hell no, I will leave this club. I cannot play in this club under another manager." So players can tell you. You cannot ask a Messi to play under Mourinho. You cannot.
This is turning Lionel Messi into a god.
No,
Yes.
it is not.
See,
No, it is not. See, if I've earned that stand, if I've earned that height,
Yeah.
you cannot take it away from me. He has earned
Okay.
it, but he did not start demanding. Did he
Wait.
start demanding in 2006?
Okay, let me spoil the market right now. Let me spoil the market right now. So if we are saying that Messi is big enough to choose players and manager, then that means for me his goatmanship is other doubts. Because if you want to compare him to Ronaldo that will play with anybody, just put me anywhere. As long as I'm playing, I am good.
So
I want to compare it to a Messi that has condition for playing.
So Ronaldo-
Then I am doubting his
No,
goats.
so
There is not a
So
goat.
Ronaldo did not suggest players. As Real Madrid, Ronaldo didn't say.
So
"Bring this
when
guy. I
he
would like to
suggests players and these players did not come, did Ronaldo hold the club
It's
to
not
ransom?
about no. You are getting it wrong. It's not about saying, "Oh, because Neymar didn't come, I'm not going to play." Was that the case?
That is the case. That is the case.
No. Neymar's issue was just one of the. Was just one of the.
Give me
many cases.
another. Give me another.
What he has for other players, bring in
who?
No. Hold on. In Aubameyang's case, he said, "I want reinforcements. I want better players to play with." The club said, "Okay, we are going to sign some other players." He might not be the kind of players to give you suggestions and say, "I want this. I would like to play with this." But he might just say, "I want better players than I'm playing with." And it's just, if you fail to bring them in, he can play 1 year and start sulking, and you have to leave. And you have to let him go. So you cannot take it away from. If Messi said, "Okay, now Messi said I want to play with him," that was not the only issue. At the beginning of summer, what happened? Barcelona sold Luis Suarez. That's a player they've actually formed a partnership, a bond, and you are expecting that he won't feel bad. We are humans, for crying out loud. Because a player is a fantasy player, is larger than life, does not mean he does not have emotions.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, good afternoon. Hola.
Yeah. In fact that this is becoming a questioning of Lionel Messi's abilities, which is not supposed to be so. I don't think we should bring it up to that level. What I wanted to ask something. You guys were saying something the other time that with the club that will pay him this kind of thing. Yes, there'll be a club that will pay him, but there will be no club that will pay him outrageously on a long-term basis. See, you talk about China. China will do it. They'll do it for 1 or 2 years, boost their image, and let him go. Barca did it on a consistent basis. What are you saying? Do you know what? See, I feel so. You also one of your commentators just said he brought in 300 million. All this social media talk. See, you don't know what it takes a club, and do you know Messi's renewal has hampered the renewals of other players? Or you don't know that a lot of other players have suffered. The renewal of Andre Ter Stegen drag. I don't want to go forward. I don't want to go long. It's just what it is.
It's a big topic.
It is a big topic, and I don't want to make it to be a question of the ability. But like I'll ask again, did this strong Gambic board? You got a deal every 6 months. No matter how good you are, will the board give you a deal every 6 months?
Thank you so much. We have to leave the Lionel Messi issue now because we just let the 13 minutes before we go because we want to talk about a particular team that is doing fairly well at the top of the table in Spain. We remain in Spain, definitely. We stay in La Liga. And of course, fairly leading the table has to be Atletico Madrid. And of course, 18 matches, 47 points. They've been on a winning streak. I mean, scored 36 goals, lost 1 game, draw 2. And of course, conceded just 8, having a goals deposit of 28. And of course, last season, of course, Diego Simeone and his style, you know what he can bring on board. Was it going to change or not? This season has been something different. And of course, a particular player joined Atletico Madrid and has been firing on all cylinders. Luis Suarez from Barcelona. The impact of Luis Suarez last season was a different case entirely with a certain Joao Felix, but this time around with Luis Suarez complementing, they found themselves on top of the table. We're looking at the impact of Luis Suarez on Atletico Madrid. JB.
Yeah, Luis Suarez's impact has been massive for Atletico Madrid. Coming from Barcelona, he's not a newbie, definitely. He's a veteran of the game from all leagues, from Ajax to Liverpool to Barcelona. I mean, so he's a veteran. He's well known in the game, and he has brought that experience, that extra touch missing for Atletico Madrid. He has brought it into Atletico Madrid, and he's a perfect striker for Cholo's formation. A 4-4-2. You need a striker that can give you something
just that effectiveness
on and off the ball. That is what Antoine Griezmann brings to the game, and that is what Barcelona brought away when they took away Antoine Griezmann. But then, even though we might want to say Luis Suarez might not be offering everything Antoine Griezmann will offer, but then he's, like I said, he's the second striker that fits in perfectly into Cholo's formation. And that is what he's bringing to the team right now.
Now, if we're talking about Messi again, you discover that that's part of what, Barcelona did at X team. I mean, Griezmann is not a striker. He has never been, and he will never be one. He will never be one.
Yeah, he will not.
He has the eye for goal. It's just the fact that you can score goals does not make you a striker.
Well, definitely.
That's the point.
It's a different thing.
When he plays for France, Griezmann would be totally anonymous without a Giroud.
Yeah. Yes.
That is why you have to.
Blame behind a striker.
Exactly. That's why the show
delivers for you.
Giroud might not score, but leave him there because he knows the other guys will score. When will score, Griezmann will
the
score.
older player.
Now, how can you sell Suarez? How can you they didn't even sell him? They let him go.
Now, we've shifted to Atletico Madrid. We're looking at the impact of Luis Suarez.
Yeah.
Number one, let me ask this before we go back to Atletico Madrid. Was it a mistake on Barcelona to have let Suarez go?
Big mistake.
JB.
Unforgivable.
Actually, I would not say it's a mistake on Barcelona to have let, because I was somewhere at the beginning of the season and reviewing Barcelona, the kind of situations around Barcelona right now. We have limited time, but the kind of situations around Barcelona right now warrants them to let some key players, not ordinary players that are earning big. They did not let Luis Suarez go. Don't forget Rakitic. So players that are earning big, because they need to balance up their salary. It is from their signings. Exactly. Even though you want to look at Barcelona, they let people go. They still brought in expenses upon themselves.
As at the time, Luis Suarez was going to go. If you compare his effectiveness at Barcelona,
it looked like last season it looked like Barcelona. It looked like Suarez is done with Barcelona. In fact, last season, to be candid, it looked like there's nothing good at Barcelona.
Was it a case of having a new environment now at Atletico Madrid?
Yeah, for Atletico Madrid, it might be.
You can move to
it might be. And also,
this is the second time Barcelona are making that mistake.
Yeah. Because don't forget, they are direct rivals. Direct rivals.
Okay, now, yeah, of course.
When they bought Luis Suarez, they dropped to the bench.
He won the league.
He won Atletico Madrid.
He won the league. So maybe Suarez it's going
to happen. That's justice. It's going to happen.
Luis Suarez at Barcelona, moving straight to Atletico Madrid, and with Simeone. Simeone will still view 4-4-2 can turn to 3-1-4-2, can turn to 2-4-3, 2-4-2, 3-4-2-1, can turn to
If I can,
3-5-2,
he can turn
can
to
turn to
5-5-0.
5-3-2. I mean,
Anything.
you can see him, despite the fact that he has the likes of Thomas Lemar, he has the Korea of this world, right there to be creative. He will still look around to Steve you. Last season, I want to bring Atletico Madrid of last season to this season, looking at tactical formation and the way they've played. Last season, it was a case of possibly Atletico Madrid leading a striker that will complement a certain João Felix and that creative spark up front. Of course, the whole of the 11 or of the 7 or 8, just defend. Give these guys the ball. They had a Morata up front that definitely will be on and off.
Yeah, sure.
But they have a Suarez that, his effectiveness can never be undermined.
Yeah.
And of course, deliver the goods.
That is what I said at the beginning, that the difference between Atletico Madrid of last season and this season is because they have someone who already has the experience. He knows what it takes. I mean, it is not even all about Suarez at Barcelona alone. Suarez has played with different people in different leagues, different formations. So introduce him to anything.
Any formation
he
is
is not new. You don't want to compare him with a Morata that's from Real Madrid to Chelsea, definitely a flop. I mean, this is not someone that has proven himself consistently. But Suarez is, even when he's not performed, even last season when he wants to say he's not performing, you could still see good. You can still leave him out, because you know that when you have the Barcelona team after Lionel Messi, the next person you want to mention is Luis Suarez. So it's almost like bringing a star from a team. Suarez on his own, Suarez in his own day is a star.
Now, and my question is Barcelona replace Suarez?
No, that one.
Did
they? Those ones.
Did they regret?
Did they replace Suarez?
They replaced him with they were no. I can't wait. Let me answer the reports I read. The report said they were hoping Griezmann will step up. So let's do it like that.
When they are not even playing the same position, and now you are saying Messi is angry. If you were Messi, wouldn't you be angry?
I will not be angry.
You will be angry,
yes,
because you are cashing out.
Yes.
No, I mean, the team is suffering. This team is suffering, and it looks like, Messi is not good enough.
Big one. Quickly, before we go back to the Suarez, quickly, let me just give a round of result as it's happened right there in England. It's half time, and of course, it's Leicester City against Leeds United, and it's 1-1 draw. Apparently, half time from both sides, 1-1 draw. Later, 5:30, you're going to be watching Liverpool away to West Ham United. Liverpool, don't forget, last time won against a certain Tottenham Hotspur. Can they continue? Don't forget, Matip will not be available for this game, and of course, late at night will be Brighton and Hove Albion against Tottenham Hotspur. In Spain, full time already. Getafe nil, Deportivo Alaves nil. By 4:15, it's going to be Cadiz against league leaders Atletico Madrid, and of course, Granada against Celta Vigo. Later, late at night will definitely be Barcelona against Athletic Bilbao. I don't know if Messi will have the energy to play that. Looking at what is happening apparently in Germany, FC Cologne won. Arminia Bielefeld nil, Wolfsburg against Freiburg 6 p.m. And of course in Italy, it's after full time, Spezia nil, Udinese 1, half time already. Atalanta losing at home to Lazio by a long goal. And of course, half time as well, Cagliari Sassuolo goalless. Half time as well, Crotone 0, Genoa 2. Later at night, Napoli against Parma 6 p.m. And of course, Roma, Hellas Verona 8:45. And in France, it's Nice nil, Saint-Etienne 1, and of course that's over. That's full time. Halftime result: Angers 2, Nimes 1, Brest 1, Metz 1. Lorient and PSG is 1-1 draw at the moment. Halftime: Strasbourg nil, Reims nil. That is all in France. Later will be Lille against Dijon, and of course Nantes against Monaco.
And that's a great goal. Forward strike back, and Callum Wilson is off the mark.
Already heading the whole stretch, and of course we have to start somehow start packing our bags from the studio.
Point guard who can make things happen, and almost scoring. Work from Yarmolenko. And Yarmolenko again.
Quickly, I will ask this last question before we go. If Atletico Madrid doesn't win the league, what should be done to Cholo?
He should. If they did not win the league, he should fulfill his promise he made to us that time that he will hawk watermelon.
He should hug the watermelon.
Yeah.
I have to say very big thanks to you guys for coming on board this afternoon. It's been a wonderful show.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, the side of the package of sports also this afternoon. Our personal has 106.7 FM. Thanks to everyone that have called in. Thanks to everyone that have joined us on social media. Adeya Itarid Adegoke. Saying happy Sunday, always listening to all your programs. Thank you so much. Thanks to my producer, Babatunde Tiamiyu. Thanks to everyone that have also sent their message via WhatsApp. I say very big thank you. Until next week, Sunday, when I'll be back on the show for another edition of Sport Puzzle. I used to say sport is live. Always endeavor to exercise your heart. Happy New Month in advance. And of course, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Don't forget to join Idris Abiola on Sports Spectra. I'm going to give you every sporting news.
Jamie Vardy, this is where he wants it. It's Jamie Vardy!
And tomorrow morning. I said, BYE. Stay blessed.
Caught cold at the back, and that is absolutely perfect.
Here we go. Belvin up top. Finishing above the rim.
That's a good ball. And that's a great goal.